Hello and welcome to BZB TV. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Joel. We will be introducing our amazing new app called BG-PTZ-Control. This is very similar to our control program that you can find for free on our website to control our cameras using PCs or Macs. However, now we have developed a user-friendly app available in the App Store, compatible with Apple mobile devices and iPads. Simply type in BZBGEAR or BG-PTZ-Control and it should pop up. Steve today will actually be showing us exactly how to use our app, getting us familiar with the user interface, and showing us a few things like how to connect BZBGEAR PTZ cameras through this app. All right, so Steve, take it away.
Hey Gearheads, welcome back for another video installment in our how-to series. This one we are going to show you how to add cameras and use our new iOS control app. It's called BG Control. You can find it in the App Store. Search for our company name, BZBGEAR. The app itself is called BG Control, or if you search for BZBGEAR Camera Control, easy to find in the App Store. Click download and it costs you nothing. Well, I mean, besides the purchase price of one of these babies, but beyond that, it's completely free, so you're welcome. Anyway, once we get this thing downloaded, we're gonna go ahead and open it on up, and you'll see our nice little splash screen there, and it will come to life. So, you'll notice here, we've got a little spinning wheel, a little black window, and something that says add camera. So, I guess it's telling me what I need to do. Across the top, you'll notice there are 6 cameras available. This thing supports a maximum of 6 cameras for control. They have to obviously be our cameras. You need a valid serial number also as part of the setup process. So if you're unboxing your camera, make sure you take note of that serial number before you install it up somewhere and can't find it. So when you want to get things set up, the first thing you're going to do is just go up to one of these camera selects and press and hold on it, and it will bring up the settings screen. Here we'll go ahead and put in a name. So I will start off with the 4K camera here. So we'll just name it 4K NDI because I'm creative like that. Description, that's optional. If you want to put in a few extra details, you can. If you don't, you can go ahead and skip it. I'm going to skip it for now. IP address, that's going to be different for you than what you see me putting in right here, obviously. Everyone's camera is going to be a little bit different on their network. Consult your local IT professional if you're not the one that installed it. They'll give you that information that you need. This camera is going to be .186. And so HTTP port is going to be 80. That's pre-filled. Unless you change that port within your camera, you don't have to touch it. I recommend not changing that port because it'll cause you a lot of grief if you don't know what you're doing, but it is optional. So if you want to get yourself in trouble, go for it. I didn't try to stop you. Well, I guess I did, but anyway, forget about that for now. We need to put in a serial number. So grab that. It's on a label on the bottom of your camera or on the side of your box with a barcode there. Once you put that in, next entry is going to be username and password. Mine are just default out of the box, so they're going to be admin and admin, all lowercase. Now you notice below that we have our maximum speed settings. So we've got independent maximum pan, tilt, and zoom speed control. So that way you can kind of fine tune your camera's movement. Since you're dealing with a touch interface and you're kind of moving that little thumbstick around, it really helps because it's not quite the same as when you have your hands on a real control. So helps you dial it into your preference, and once you have that, we're going to go ahead and click the green button to save. Now you'll notice a video image pops up. Got my good friend Stan over there just hanging out staring at me like he normally does. That's all right. You do you, Stan. I'll do me. Anyway, once you have this up, you'll notice to the right of that image preview, we've got some controls here. I've got an iris control, focus control, and a zoom control. Each one of these you have to enable for it. They are disabled by default. To enable it, you simply hit the icon for the name there. Notice it's glowing orange now. Now if I pull this slider, I can zoom in or zoom out. The reason we have this with the ability to lock out is so that if you're walking around with this thing and you accidentally touch a button on there, it's not going to screw everything up on you. Here we've got our focus settings, so I can go ahead and make everything blurry if I want to. Disable it, autofocus is reactivated, and we're nice and clean again. Again, for the iris, I can select that, and that allows me to open or close the iris on the camera just for some very quick exposure adjustments if you're in a crunch and you need to do some on-the-fly adjustments. It's there for you. You'll notice above the image preview here, it actually tells you what camera you currently have selected. Pretty handy little feature there. It's just a little status thing. There's nothing to adjust. Right next to that, we've got our backlight control button. Right now it's off. If I select that, it engages backlight control to help with some of the auto contrast. If you don't need it, turn it back off. Image reverts. Right here next to that on the left is our thumb control. So basically you just grab it in the center there and then you pull it. It is variable, so the more that you pull this thing around with, the greater distance that you pull this thing with, the faster it goes. So if you want really fine adjustment, you can just move it just a little bit and it'll move ever so slightly. And you may notice that actually our UPTZ camera is moving here, even though I named it 4K. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this gear icon. That's going to let me edit my settings. So I can go right back here, rename this guy UPTZ, and now I look smarter than I really am. How about that? Go ahead and save that. And the next thing I'm going to do is add one more camera. So we'll press and hold on the camera 2 selection. This time we know this is going to be the 4K camera. Description I'm going to skip. IP address. Once again, use your camera IP address, not mine. Serial number. And as much as I'd love to fill this dead air time with talking, I can't actually type and talk at the same time. I'm not that talented, so you're just going to have to wait for me while I do this. Username and password are all admin lowercase. And once again, we've got our maximum pan, tilt, and zoom speed settings. Maybe I'll move these down if I want this camera to move nice and slow for me. Go ahead and save. And now I'm going to go ahead and select my second camera here. And boom, pops right up. Again, we're looking at my nemesis. That guy. All that hair. He'll never know what it's like to gleam off the top of his head so much that people around you have to wear sunglasses. That's my domain. Anyway, deselecting zoom. Again, my focus, select that. Disable it for autofocus. Try the backlight control out. We can see everything's working there. So the next thing to do is play with some presets. So now that I'm zoomed in a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and hit this add preset button. And you can name it if you want. If you want to just keep calling it preset 1, you can add a description as well. So we can call that Stan. And there you go. You get a nice little snapshot of your preset. So that way you don't even have to remember it. You just see preset 1, you see that image, you know exactly what the camera's going to do. How about we make a different shot before we make another preset, huh? Let's get real close to this guy. I mean, if you're gonna obsess, you might as well obsess, you know what I mean? So we'll go ahead and add this preset 2. Oh yeah, look at that. We'll call this one, how about Hunk of Man? Because I mean, come on, look at that guy. Those gleaming white teeth. Gotta love it, I guess. Now if I jump back over to my UPTZ camera, you'll notice you're just gonna kind of see some weird reflections off of the TV screen. Don't mind that. Let's look at this guy instead. One more preset. We'll just name that preset 1. Do a little zoom in here. Let's see what, I've never paid attention to what he's actually standing next to. It looks like that's a lamp. Nice lamp stand. So we'll go ahead and add that as a preset. Preset 2, we'll call it Stan's lamp. And actually, let's trash this one. I don't like how that image came out. Let's try again. See, look at that. It was blurry. Now it's nice and clear. I just went too fast. Here we go. Preset title, Stan's lamp. Y'all don't even know about Stan's lamp. Look at that thing. Whew. Nice. So the one last feature I haven't discussed here is the favorites. So with these presets up here now, I can go ahead and click this star icon. I can jump over to the 4K And now I've assigned these as favorites just by touching that little star icon. Now I've got my other star icon down here on the image preview. So if I hit that, it brings up my favorites page. This will let you favorite presets from any or all of your cameras, group them on one page for quick recall. And that little snapshot feature makes it real easy to manage a whole show. Let's say I've got both of these cameras and I have 4 different presets for each one, and that's the entirety of my show. I can go sit in the audience and control this if I'm really feeling reckless. I wouldn't recommend running things that way, but you can do it. So basically, if you hit these presets here, you'll see the cameras move around a little bit. Unfortunately, I wasn't super creative with my preset selection, so how about we go home first with both of these cameras. We'll go home for you, then favorites. Now, when I call my presets up, you notice the camera just jumps right to it. Look at that, huh? Nice. So that's the presets function. You get a little trash can there for each one if you want to delete it. This green button here lets you edit it if you want to change the name. The other thing you might notice is when you call up a preset, above your image preview, it will show not only the name of the camera, but the name of the currently selected preset. So that's why it now says hunk of man over that little image of Stan's face. Yeah. So anyway, that's about it for the BG Control app. There is a little help screen here on the question mark, walks you through the process of how to do all the major functions of the app, make it easy for you guys. If you get real stuck, give us a buzz in tech support. We're happy to help you as always. Other than that, that about sums it up. So until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you later.